everybody, welcome. We are live here on the Facebook campus. I'm really happy that you all joined us through my Facebook page, by the way. In case you haven't noticed already, my name is Gene Marks. I write every day for the Washington Post, and I write every week for a bunch of other places like Forbes and Inc. and Entrepreneur. And I also run a 10-person company outside of Philadelphia. We sell customer relationship management software and other sales and marketing applications. And we're very much involved with Facebook as well. And we're here on Facebook's campus to have a really great conversation about Facebook Messenger. It is a tool and a service, an application that I think is extremely important to anybody who's running a small business. So first of all, I'm going to thank my two guests for joining us. I'm very excited to have these guys here with me. So first, Stefanos, I'm going to mispronounce your name, so walk me through this. Stefanos Loukakis, right?
Perfect.
Pretty good. Okay, who is head of Messenger business. So for all of you guys that are running small businesses and you're using Facebook Messenger, this is the guy that's like the head of Messenger business. So now you know who to go to for any questions. And then I have April Franks Hunt.
Yes.
April, you are a master business coach.
Yeah.
A heavy and advanced user of Facebook Messenger, although there's always more stuff that you can learn.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's fine. So we're going to learn all about what you're doing with Messenger and some best practices and things that you can share. And Stefanos, I want to learn everything that you know about Messenger. But you know what? Let's start from the beginning, shall we? So I'm going to start with you, Stefanos, and just you're meeting a newbie on the street and somebody or a small business owner and they've heard of Facebook Messenger. They're not quite sure what it does. What is Facebook Messenger?
Well, probably a lot of people are using it already, and I hope you both are
We
doing
are.
it also. So Messenger and messaging is the new trend. We've seen messaging increasing substantially in the past 2 years across all platforms.
Right.
And it's a great tool for businesses to connect, to have meaningful connection with their customers and reach their business objectives. And my role as head of Messenger business, it is to build these tools and these products to help businesses reach their business objectives and have interesting conversation with their clients.
Fair enough.
So, and by the way, just to say, before I joined Messenger, I still used to work for Facebook, but I was on the small business team.
Okay.
And
Server in Greece?
no, it was in Europe,
Okay.
in Dublin.
Right.
And I come from a family of small businesses. My mom used to have a furniture shop, and my father a small consulting engineering firm. So I really understand how small businesses work, what they need, and if you ask me, my passion is to help small businesses grow, and that's what we're doing here on Messenger and Facebook.
So Facebook Messenger itself, I mean, going back, it's a fairly new application, would you say? And it started out as really more of a personal messaging thing. What exactly is the history of Messenger?
Well, it started from Facebook. A couple of years back, it became a standalone app that a lot of people are using now. It started as a personal conversation between people and friends and groups,
right.
And it allows, but it has evolved in much more than that. It allows for people to create, to make voice calls and video calls and group video calls and all those different stuff, and have chat extensions that allow them to create these fancy experiences. So it's a great tool to communicate.
Right.
And we believe that the same way you communicate with your friends, that's how people want to communicate with businesses also.
Sure.
The internet has made business interaction a bit not very personal anymore.
Right.
Like cold web pages and mobile pages. We believe that with Messenger, we bring back this one-to-one personal interactions between business and people that we used to have before the internet.
Fair enough. So, April, first of all, tell us a little bit about your business. So you are a master business coach.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yes. Well, basically what it means is I help entrepreneurs leverage the social media space. I help them monetize their platforms, their audiences, provide better profitability within their business.
Cool.
In a nutshell.
That's great. So is it mostly like marketing work that you do with them to help them grow their business?
You know what? A lot of it is marketing.
Right,
a lot of it is branding, marketing, positioning, social media, Messenger, so a lot of it is marketing.
And is some of it therapy and psychoanalysis as well?
No.
You would think it would be. If
But,
you're dealing with
sometimes
business
I
owners.
feel a little Oprah-esque sometimes,
Yeah.
where, it's kind of like live your best life and be profitable too. So, so that's what I do in a nutshell. And
How many clients do you deal with?
Well, we have thousands and thousands of people that we impact every day through.
First of all, so you said we. Is there more
There's
in
a
your
company.
organization than
Yeah,
just you?
it's not just me. I'm not a solopreneur.
Okay.
So we have a company. We have probably 7 people on our team.
Okay.
And we help people every day, you know, expand their voice and their message so that they can impact the world and impact their bottom line at the same time.
That's awesome. So where do you find your business?
Say it again.
Where do you find your business? Like, is it
Oh,
referrals
they find
mostly?
me. I'm from Facebook. Honestly, it's really a referral kind of situation. And we run Facebook ads, obviously. And I'm a public speaker, so I speak. But mostly referrals, honestly. You know, this is back to what Stephanos was saying, just about making business personal again.
Sure.
You know, so very much a lot of referrals and a lot of social love and interaction. And this is who did that. And here's her page, or here's how you can connect with her.
Got it. All right, so let's talk about Messenger now. So
Yeah.
how long have you been using Messenger? I mean, you must have started out just, first of all, every Facebook user, you have Messenger available to you, so we're all
Yeah.
like familiar with doing
Yeah.
it. When did it like suddenly like dawn on you that you could be using it for your business?
As soon as it came out that we could use it for our business.
Why?
Well, because my brand is very personable, right? And so I am the talent within my brand.
Right.
And people, like, for whatever reason, they love me on camera. And
Okay.
they love me, you know, they love me Facebook living. And
We're loving you
I'm
too.
a little,
You're doing great.
you know, I have some shenanigans.
Right.
And so I felt like it was a great way for the one-on-one interaction, you know, in order to stand out, because there's so many coaches, so many small businesses. And it's like, what are you doing that your competition is afraid to do?
Right.
What are they resisting, right? They're resisting technology. People either think they're too old, too short, too whatever, to
Right.
be on video or to be personable with their potential customer.
Right.
And I'm not.
Right.
And I think Messenger puts me in the pocket of my potential client, you know, people that I can help and people that can benefit from my products and services.
Stephanos, when you hear April talk, I mean, like, she gets it, you know, I mean,
She
obviously
really
picks
gets
it
it.
up, understands how to use it, whatever. And no offense, I mean, like, you know, we all know there's a lot of small business owners out there that they're wrapped up in running their businesses. They're not necessarily technology people, and they might not get the power of what a messenger does. I mean, how do you get that message out there?
That's a great question, and thank you for all the great
Yeah.
work that you're doing with us. So, you know, the thing is that people are using Messenger for on their personal lives,
Right.
so they know how to use the product.
Right.
And to open Messenger for your business is as simple as enabling messaging on your Facebook page.
Right.
70 million businesses have a Facebook page.
Right.
More than 18 million of them are already have conversation with their customers.
Right.
So it's already working naturally and organically. It's so easy to do.
Right.
Now, if you're a small business, you just check the box, open Messenger for your business, and you can immediately start interacting with your clients.
Right.
And you can go to your Pages Manager app, and you can set things up there, send instant replies that you probably are doing
Yeah.
already, and set up away messages, and have meaningful interaction with your clients almost immediately. It's so easy. If you haven't used it, please do. It's as easy as it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, to me, Messenger, a lot of people kind of get confused as to what its purpose is. And when I look at Messenger for my business, I'm seeing for your business as well, don't you think it's more, I'm going to ask you, Stephanos, first, do you consider it to be more of a customer service tool than a marketing tool? Or do you consider them to be equally
It's both.
important? Okay?
We've seen
Yeah.
great examples of businesses using it as a customer care tool. I have a problem, how can I solve it? Using Messenger to do that.
Right.
But we see great examples of businesses actually enabling transactions through Messenger.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, there's very small, can I give you an example?
Please.
And it's right here, the example. You know, Mermaid Pillows in Nebraska, very small family-owned business. You know, they're using Messenger to actually drive transactions, sell pillows online.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, and they're using also our chat plugin, which is like a plugin that goes to your website or mobile site
Okay.
that enables a conversation on the site through Messenger. It really works along different use cases. So we've seen examples of everything, customer care or, you know, enabling transactions.
Are you selling any services through Messenger, or are you using it just for communications with your clients?
Both. We do both.
Can you explain?
Yeah, absolutely. So we run campaigns through there. So, for example, one of a recent campaign we ran, the first campaign we ran, outside of like building up a subscriber database inside of there, was for a training that I was going to be doing on event planning.
Okay.
And so we started off by, you know, sharing content in regards to, you know, do you want to plan your own event?
Okay.
And people were responding, and then we set up a sequence through ManyChat, is a tool that we use to help us automate the messenger.
Sure.
And so we set up a campaign, and then when we got to a certain place in the campaign, a part of it was, and if you've been interested and this is working for, and this content is good for you, then you may want to be a part of this boot camp, this virtual boot camp that we're doing.
Sure.
Right? And so the very first test that we did, we generated $15,000. Cost me nothing, you know, outside of creation of a content, which I already had.
So let me take a little bit back up, because if we're going to use Messenger for campaigns, and I do want to get back to the customer service topic, but for an actual campaign itself, you don't have to pay anything to do this, correct? You're sending out the messages to who exactly? Like, in other words, did you upload a database?
No.
This is all to your Facebook fans?
I love that question.
Sure.
So we started through, you know, of course, everyone on Messenger has the little link, right? The little URL that you can m.me. whatever.
Right.
And so I just shared that through my social media platforms everywhere, you know, hey, on this platform, come see me on Messenger.
Okay.
And so then that built up a database.
Right.
So initially,
Messenger is, but as long as you're sharing it and people do accept that share, then you're building up a database of people that want to receive messages
that
from
want
you.
to receive, absolutely.
And so this could be hundreds of people. It could be tens of thousands
it
of
could
people.
be
I'm assuming.
absolutely
Correct. So were you then broadcasting out a message? And I don't broadcast may or may not be the right word, but were you sending a message out to everybody that was on your Messenger list?
Which at that time was only 206 people.
Wow. Okay.
So literally from a 206-person test, no money, no Facebook ads, no nothing, no fancy copywriter, no anything. Literally, here's the link. Now, obviously, I have an established brand,
Sure.
right? So people were clicking because they want content from me.
Sure.
Right? And so once we had something of value that they could buy into, they bought it.
Got it.
A percentage of them.
I think a question, Stefan, is that I think a lot of my clients would ask is, so what's the difference between what April is doing on Messenger and an email campaign? You know, I mean, how would you differentiate that?
Do you get a lot of offers on email?
I do, unfortunately.
Everybody does.
Yes.
Everybody does.
Right.
Everybody does. The problem with email is it's very difficult to reply and get a conversation going on email. How many examples do we know of us getting an email, do not reply back email?
Very
Don't
true.
you get this? Is this like very often?
Very true.
On Messenger, you don't need to sign up. You don't need to re-authenticate. People can have a continuous conversation with their customer. Businesses can have a continuous conversation with the customer across, you know, the whole life cycle of what they're selling and all that stuff, without the hustle of back and forth, finding the right email, replying, sending your details again, and all that stuff. It creates a better experience for users.
And in April's case, you actually said, like, you'll share your Messenger ID, and then people will then not subscribe to it, but if they're accepting it, then that means they want to hear messages.
It's an actual subscription.
Okay, so they're opting in to receive messages from you.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're avoiding any issues of people saying, oh, don't spam me or send me messages that I weren't solicited. You're opting in to getting those messages.
And the magic is that April can later re-engage and retarget the same people with different offers at a later time.
Okay.
So the thread is open. All the information is there. They know who they're getting the message from.
Yeah.
She knows who the client is.
Sure.
And she can have an amazing retargeting experience.
By the way, you have to understand, I'm not doing this in my business. Like, we are using Messenger on my business page only from a customer service aspect, which, again, I want to get to. Hopefully we have enough time. But guys, this is like 2 or 3 hours we're going to need to have this whole conversation. But actually, it's only half an hour. But, when I look at marketing, I didn't, it really thinks to myself that myself or any other business owner that's actively using Facebook can really use Messenger as a way to reach out to a whole big group of people. Now, I don't think you're doing this, but maybe, Stefan, you can speak to this. I mean, you can buy products through Messenger, and you can pay for products through Messenger.
Absolutely.
Explain that.
Absolutely. We have native payments on Facebook.
Okay.
So you can add your debit or credit card and enable transaction with just pressing one button.
Just a click.
Exactly.
Okay.
By the way, just to say something about customer care and marketing.
Sure.
It's great that you separate those, but for the majority of businesses in the world, we're small businesses, I'm telling you, small businesses of 5 people, they don't have a customer care department and a marketing department. It's the same people that are doing both.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. So these people want to answer questions about how to care to provide customer care, but also cross-sell or upsell their products.
Well, I always thought that, by the
it's
way,
one
that,
experience.
I always thought that the best marketing comes through good client and customer service,
absolutely.
right? And you learn in business school that your least expensive leads come from your existing customer base.
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you be reaching out to them and trying to sell them more services or more products?
And especially through a tool that people really know how to use. It's a tool that they know they need to engage with. They no need to sign up and re-authenticate all the time.
Yeah.
It's a great experience for the user.
Yeah.
There's always value when it's a great experience for the user and great experience for the business.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening with Messenger right now.
Now, all of this is mobile, I'm assuming, correct? So as long as
Both
you get your
mobile
Facebook
and,
app.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Back to products. If you want to sell a specific product, you can actually include a link to that in Messenger where people can actually see the product and get information about it and then pay for the product right there through Messenger. Is that correct?
You can either pay with native payments
Right.
on Messenger, or you can have web views
Yeah.
that load data about who the user is, so he doesn't need to write his name again,
Yeah.
his address, etc.
Okay.
And you can pay on his website.
All right, that's great. I'm going to get to some automation and bots because I'm interested in
Yeah.
that as well. But before I do that, customization in Messenger, right? So, and again, let me ask you, April, first. Do you customize Messenger,
Yeah.
at all? How do you do that? And is it all just through the interface of Messenger, or have you hired developers to help you do
Yeah.
it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay.
So, Josh. Shout out to Josh, the mustache marketer. Josh.
Who is Josh?
Josh is I call him my bot guy.
Okay.
And Josh is a bot strategist, and he assists us in creating sequences and customizing our messaging and all of those different nuances that are behind kind of the.
Okay, let's stop. Let's stop for that.
Did I just get too technical?
It's perfect. We're going down the road of bots, and I think it's a good time to talk about
Okay.
bots. But before we talk about bots,
Okay.
Let's at least define what a bot is.
Okay.
Stefanos,
Okay,
go.
that's
This guy.
very,
Yeah.
very simple. And I love that you asked me this question
Yeah.
because I would love to. A lot of people don't understand what bots are, and if they kind of do, they're scared. Oh,
Yeah.
bot. That means
First of all, it's like short for robot.
Yeah.
That's where it
Yeah.
comes from, isn't
Okay.
it? Go ahead.
Bots are tools that enable businesses to answer, to communicate with their clients on Messenger in a scaled way. So if you have thousands of customers,
Yes.
you might not have enough people to actually answer
Right.
each one of them.
Yes.
So you want an automated experience that can do that for you. That's what a bot is.
So
it's an automated experience.
To give an example of like a bot, like for example, like we have our dog has been sick. It's a whole thing, and we use CVS pharmacy, and they text me whenever our dog's like new medication is coming due, which is a lot. And when I get a text message saying the medication is due for refill. Do you want to refill it? I'll text back yes, and then sometimes it'll text you back say, oh, you have to call the veterinarian or the doctor to get new
Yeah.
refills for the prescription. Do we have permission to? I say yes, and I'll get another text back saying, okay, we've done that, and then it's ready. Is that okay? And I say okay. There's not a human being that's doing that when I'm going back and forth on these
And bot
texts.
is an automated experience.
Yeah.
It can
Right.
be as simple as quick replies, which is a tool that we offer for free for everybody that allows you to answer some simple questions automatically.
Right.
And it can be as complicated as having a bot developer having an experience that's very complicated and that
Yeah.
takes you to different paths and flows.
So
Yeah.
how about that? So let's get back to your guy. What's his name again?
Josh.
Josh, all right,
Yeah.
the guy, right, the bot guy.
Yeah.
Is he a bot developer?
He's
Like,
not a developer, no.
Okay.
So we leverage the tool ManyChat, which I love.
Okay.
So shout out to Michael. And
What's ManyChat?
Many, M-A-N-Y, chat.
ManyChat, right.
ManyChat basically is a tool that plugs into Messenger, and it allows us to create sequences and much similar to email
Yep.
that then make it easier for us to communicate with the clients. And so like he was saying, you can create different flows and different experiences. The exact same thing you were just talking about with the texting.
Yeah, from the pharmacy.
Exactly.
Right.
The bot can handle.
So in
And-
other words, when you send out a message on Facebook Messenger, and somebody replies to that, you have customized using ManyChat.
Yeah.
You have customized it to search and recognize certain keywords in that response, so that based on what that response is, it'll automatically return a response back.
Well,
yes or no?
you can do that.
Okay.
But then you can also create, so for example, inside of the bot, you can create questions. And those questions, based on the responses that the user is having, we can create flows to those questions.
Right.
So, for example, one could be, so in my instance, it could be, do you want to focus on the coaching, speaking, or the writing element of your business?
It's like buttons.
Yeah, exactly.
So when people are answering those questions, then obviously that goes through whatever different routes to then answer, right?
Absolutely.
So you must have too, it's funny when it comes to technology like this. People get scared when they talk about bot technology. But I was just going to say, a lot of large companies like Facebook are building in that technology into their applications.
Can I clarify something?
Please.
Automated experiences like bots are
Yep.
great for specific use cases.
Right.
For the majority of the use cases that small businesses want Messenger for, I don't think they're necessary. You can easily do what you need to do with quick replies, a tool already there, or with a partner like ManyChat and a lot of other partners that we're working with.
Sure.
To get your experience up and running and have a very, very, and reach your business objective as you want. So no need to scare people. You don't really need a bot unless you really do.
So it's there if it can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. And you have to let your business needs, kind of dictate whether or not you're going to be using more complex processes. And in your case, because you're dealing with a lot of different clients, a lot of things going on, you probably you had to think through this process a lot to figure out based on the reply to this. So it's a lot of work that goes into it.
Well, I think it's as much work as anything, right? It's like, you want your business to be successful. You see that your capacity to respond, like you were saying, you can't respond to 1,000 people, but the technology gives us the opportunity to do so. So yeah.
Okay, so bots very, very important to use. Obviously, Messenger, if you don't want to use them, you don't have to. It can be a very, very simple process as long as you're using Messenger for what you want to do. April, I got to ask you, so how long have you been using Facebook Messenger for your business?
Since we can turn it on.
Okay, so how long is that? Is that
A year and a half?
About a year and a half?
Since we can turn it on.
What do you wish you were doing better?
What do I wish I was doing better?
What are you not doing with it that you wish you could? What do you think you could improve using it? And I'm going to come back to you, Stephanos, in a second, ask you where do you see businesses making mistakes with it. But is there any part of it that you're like, I really wish that we were just using this application better in this way?
I think the biggest thing is I wish we were using it more. Like, I want to run more campaigns, deliver more content.
Why aren't you? Is it just a time thing? Or
I feel like I feel like I'm like 30% there.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, there's so much more that we can deliver to the world, to help people get their messages out. Because my clients have tribes too.
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. It's funny. A lot of people feel the same way with a lot of their business applications. Like whether they're using like an office application, most of us are using like 20% of what it does and wish we could be doing more. When you talk to small business owners, what mistakes do you see them make when it comes to using Facebook?
And that's not only small business owners, it's also large businesses.
As well.
So the biggest mistake they do is maybe because it's very early, they don't understand the value of Messenger and they don't use it to solve real business objectives like transactions, get more business and do that type of stuff.
Right.
And they use it just as a good to have experience.
Sure.
But if you don't link it with a real business objective, you're never going to invest and get the most out of it. So use Messenger to solve real business problems. That's where we're good at, and that's how Messenger can be useful for businesses.
And if it doesn't have a use for you, fair enough, then you don't use it. If there is no specific business issue that you think it's going to make use of. In your business, and we're going to turn, I want to talk about this ManyChat contest, so I'm going to get to that in a minute, guys, and I'm also, we're going to take some questions. So if you're watching this broadcast right now and you have questions, please submit them. In just a couple of minutes, I'm going to turn to them. I want to ask you guys those questions, but I just a couple more that I have for you guys while I have you here. First of all, you have how many people using Facebook Messenger in your business?
You mean how many of my crazy tribe people that are watching right now?
Are they all on it? Are they all using it?
Yeah, I would probably say there's probably at least, I don't know, probably 300-400 people using it.
Okay, this is you're saying these are your clients that we're talking about.
Well, not my clients, but people within our community.
In your community,
Yeah.
okay. How about like in your company, I'm saying? Like,
All of our clients are on Messenger.
The reason why I asked, I'm still, when I talk to a business owner, they might have 10 employees, they might have 20 employees. So somebody would say to me like, well, do I have to have one person that's using Messenger on behalf of my business? Or can all of my employees engage and be using
Yeah.
Messenger on behalf of my business? Do you have all of your people in your company?
Oh, within the company?
Yeah, within
within
the
the
company.
company, no, there's only 2 people
Okay.
that reply within the Messenger.
And you're doing that because you recommend for control reasons, I guess? and
Absolutely.
for-
Well, it's someone's job to
Yeah.
manage that.
Right.
And so I chime in, and I've been talking to people ever since I've been here through Messenger.
Right.
And then it's someone else's job to help us navigate that, because it is a bit of because I have a huge tribe. I don't know if I consider myself like a typical, let's say, a mom and pop
Yep.
store,
Yep.
right? Because there's thousands of people that follow, and so I think in my instance, we have a person that part of what they do
Right.
is to communicate with the people through Messenger.
And is that what you recommend, Stephanos, as well? I mean, having a
It depends on the
dedicated
business.
person?
Yeah.
It depends on, it's the same as, going to a store. There's normally one person on customer service where you ask questions and
Sure.
they reply. You don't go and ask any person. Sometimes you do. It depends on the business. There's
Yeah.
no, right or wrong here.
Fair enough. All right. Well, before we go over and I give a little bit of information about this contest by ManyChat that they're offering, I first want to I'm going to leave it with you, Stephanos, and just say, where do you think this is all going, right? I mean, you're head of Messenger business. It's 5 years from now, 7 years from now. How do you think this is all going to evolve with small businesses? Make a prediction for us.
Yeah, nobody knows, but we've seen very strong signs that messaging is going to be the new platform where businesses are going to engage with their clients to actually do business with them.
Right.
Okay. We've seen this already happening in Asia. We all heard about what's happening in China with WeChat and all
Yep.
that stuff. So it's happening already. We believe that business has to become more personal again.
Right.
And messaging allows that.
Right.
I'm very optimistic. I think we're going to build great tools that are going to enable businesses to, open conversation with clients and get the most out of it. So I'm very bullish about it.
Do you believe that even businesses, even boring businesses like many of my clients and mine, like that are selling distributors or selling your contractors or selling pipes or paper and film, do you think that even those businesses will need to be considering a Facebook Messenger platform or something similar to it as a customer service and a marketing?
We've seen it. We've seen example of businesses as boring as
mine.
as you discussed
Yeah.
to very new one and advanced using Messenger. Why? Because right now it's not easy to sell something. People have asked questions. People have to understand the features. People have
Sure.
problems and they need customer care. So
Sure.
Messenger allows one platform that's great for the user, great return on investment for the business, and it enables this to happen. So yeah, we believe it's going to happen for most businesses.
Fair enough. Okay, great. So let me just take it. One of your partners we mentioned before was ManyChat, right? Who you use in your business as well.
Great partner.
Right, they are a great partner, and they were running a contest. And I think submissions are due by December 4th, and I'm really hoping that is the deadline. There was a link to the contest as well. It is a bot makeover contest. They will actually go and review what you're doing and how you're using bots, and as you can ask questions, put forward how you want to use it in your business, and they will make their suggestions to you. They were going to choose one business that gets a bot makeover, and when
But you don't have to have a bot to
you
apply.
can have a process or
Exactly.
an issue that
or
maybe a bot
like
can solve.
an idea of what you want to do.
And then they get $5,000 worth of
Ad credits
as
for
well.
discovery,
So December
yes.
4th is when you want to sign up. That's the deadline to
Awesome.
register for this contest. Okay, we only have a few minutes left, but I do want to get to some questions here. So I have looking for some questions here. No questions have been put up here yet. Oh, here we go. All right, so Stephanos, this one's going to come for
okay.
you, of course, because you're the boss here. So you're going to get the
Right.
This question comes from Morticia. Stephanos, can you use Messenger from your business page and or group, or does it have to be from a person's personal page or your personal page?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can use Messenger from your business Facebook page.
Okay.
You don't have to use it from your personal account.
Okay.
And you can go to the Pages Manager inbox and set things up for your replies for your customers, etc. So absolutely
Good.
yes.
So if I have a personal page, I can keep using Messenger for my own personal use, but the
Yeah.
business page
Absolutely.
completely separate. And that's what you've got, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right, on
yeah.
your business page. Okay, April, that's good. All right, now, so April, here's your question. This comes from Kendra. I'm a small business owner in St. Louis. As a speaker, author, and mentor, how can I... That sounds familiar.
I know, right? Do I know Kendra?
How can I incorporate Messenger to continue connection with my audience after my live talks, and how do I direct them to that tool? So you speak, right?
Yeah.
And, so do you do this? Do you?
Yeah,
What do you do to get people to engage with you on Messenger when you're done speaking?
Yeah, so great question, Kendra. So, for example, if you know you're going to be going live at a specific time, then I recommend that you simply set up the reminders for, so let's say you go, like we went today, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And so, you know, if you're going to do a 30-minute live, then schedule those reminders after the fact within Messenger to go out. And you can say, oh, but let me back up. So before that, while you're going live, you can actually put the link to your Messenger.
Yeah.
And so you can reference it while
Right.
you're live.
Right.
And say, you know, click the link above. This will, you know, keep people in touch. It'll garner more subscribers.
Right.
But then basically just set up the automation to remind people, hey, this was the live. You can even grab the URL to the video and send it. Hey, if you missed it, you can watch it. You can also say, you know, follow it up with a string of other content so by all through, you know, leveraging the automation that's there.
Perfect. And you know what I do when I speak is that I'll give my Messenger ID and say, if you message me after this presentation, sometimes I'll offer a free white paper.
Yeah.
Sometimes, a copy of a book. Just message me,
Yeah.
and then we'll send it back out
Yeah.
to you. And we have a bot set
That's
up.
why I
for
love
that.
to be next to small businesses, because we learn stuff that we didn't even know. That's
Yeah.
Well,
how people do it.
You know,
That's
and I
great.
think another thing too that someone can do, like Kendra, she can even buy the domain Chat with Kendra, you know, and that just makes it easy for her to rattle it off. You know, Chat with Kendra, it's redirected to the m.me, and then, you know, there it is.
Genius. I love that idea.
I'm
That
just
is
saying.
very-
Chat with Gene.
That is cool. Yeah, I am definitely I got to make a note of that. Gene, where am I going? We're going to write this down. All right, that was really, really good. All right, let's get another one going on, and then we will wrap this up, everybody, because everybody has to get back to their lives. I realize that. So this is like, maybe we can all take a stab at this question. This comes from Kimberly. How does one drive more traffic to your Messenger interaction? Now, I'm going to start this one first. We never really got into it because we just don't have enough time about the whole customer service thing, okay? We use Messenger for client service. I mean, we are a technology services firm. So when we implement a CRM, a customer relationship management application, part of our support is, well, message us, on our Facebook page. And so if you're either a client or even somebody that's using a product that we support and you have a question about it, that's how we drive the message. We just say you have questions about this product,
Yeah.
then reach out to us on Facebook Messenger. That's what we do to drive more interaction. What do you do?
Well, I think it really depends for us. Like, to drive more interaction in a conversation that's kind of already happening, I make sure that we're giving, engaging, and probing things that make people want to respond.
Right.
You know, and so for us, because we don't use it for customer service per se yet. But thanks for that, because we probably will.
Yeah.
But we do use it for content, and so people are learning things, through the Messenger.
Good.
And so we ask questions. I think that's the biggest thing. People are always asking, like, how do you build engagement? It's like, well, be engaging.
Yeah.
Motivation is great,
Right.
but people, you putting a quote somewhere doesn't necessarily provoke a person to want to respond.
Sure.
But if you ask a question,
Sure.
then you can start a dialogue. And so asking questions really is a great way to increase your engagement, like, off the bat.
That is great. Do you use bots when you do these kind of engagement, or is it more of a personalized thing? I'm hoping it's more personalized.
Both.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, both. So, for example, and I love I didn't even know until yesterday that on Messenger you can, which I knew this on personal, but for whatever reason, I didn't know you can send voice notes.
Of course.
Like, I'm so behind and then not behind at the same time. I was like, so I was
Well, it's just proof that as heavy a user of
You
any
know?
technology, there's
Yeah.
always stuff that you're learning, right?
So yesterday I was voice noting everyone, like hundreds
That's
of people
awesome.
got a voice note.
Right, that's
And by the
great.
way, the best experience that we've seen, and because you use bots or you do it yourself,
Yeah.
the best experience that I've seen personally are experiences that are like both bot and human at the
Sure.
same time. We have a great handover protocol which allows, the discussion going
Yes.
from bot to a human person,
Right.
because you can't answer all questions with bots.
Yeah.
There's a limit.
I get from you, Stefanos, as well, is that because clearly you're trying to attract more small business owners to realize the benefits of what Messenger does. So, your thing is you want to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, right? I mean, like the bot technology is great and automation is fantastic, but it's almost like, get your high school degree before you move on to the college level, and there is nothing wrong with that.
And you might not even need it.
You might not even need it, and that's fine. All right, one final question, and this comes from Zacchaeus, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing Zacchaeus' name right, but Zacchaeus, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. And Stefanos, let me direct this at you, okay? With all the, and I've got some thoughts on this, but with all the noise of frequent messages and chain group messages, and you're flooding the inbox of all of our potential customers and all that, how do you stand out from the crowd?
Okay,
right?
that's a great question, and
ahead.
I'm sure Zakia has experience from his email inbox where he gets bombarded with emails.
Spammed
and spam.
out the
exactly.
you-know-what, right.
So on Messenger, we have more rules than email.
Right.
So we don't allow businesses to engage with users without the users engaging with the business first.
Good.
Okay, so that's the user first has to engage with the business in order for the business to reply and do all the great stuff that April is doing. Okay, so that's one rule. And we allow this only for 24 hours. After 24 hours, we tell businesses then you need to use some of our paid products to actually re-engage with this customer again. So it's much better experience than email.
Right.
I urge people to try it. It works better, and it doesn't have the spam effect that email has.
Very good. You know what? So with that, let's wrap things up. First of all, I want to thank both of you guys for joining me in this conversation. This was great. I want to thank all of you for watching this live broadcast as well. And obviously, go back to my page. This will be on your page as well.
Yeah, I'll push it over there.
This will be around. Everybody will be able to find it and look at this conversation again. Use Facebook Messenger in your business. It really is a fantastic tool. I'm using it now, and I am like in elementary school after this conversation. So I got a lot of work to do as well. So thanks, everybody, for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day.